Hello and welcome back, Squirrel Nation. Today we are trying a new type of content. So I took your feedback from a few of the commenters, and the feedback was basically this. Hey Squirrel, you're doing live commentary, so you're splitting your focus, right? You're playing and you're trying to commentate at the same time. So why don't you just play without doing the commentary so you can really focus all your attention on the game and then go back after the game and add commentary. So that's what we're trying today. So I picked this game because the lobby is a very high lobby. There's 3 different queen players in this game, and everybody else is king 3 with only one king 2 player in this game. So I thought it would be a fun game. And anyways, we are going to add the commentary. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you like me adding the commentary after the game, or do you like me doing it simultaneously while I play. I think there's pros and cons to both approaches. You're going to get different types of information. But anyways, with that said, let's dive in. So if we, real quick, I want to discuss the screen. So I'm scouting. I'm starting the game by scouting. Some things I'm looking for is I'm trying to get a feel for what type of comps people are going to have. So if we go from the very top, we see 2 stone spirits. So a lot of queen players like to start with spirit, and the way they'll do that is they'll go with stone spirits into water spirits and thunder spirits if they can. So spirit synergy, generally their end build ends up being something either towards 6 assassins or that range. Sometimes they shift into warriors. The next person, a swordsman, is an indicator of warriors in general. Tusker, same thing, general warriors, sometimes hunters. Me picking up the 2 taboo witchers kind of puts me in the direction of feathered, and then assassins are pretty straightforward, and then the same thing with E-Ranger. It's pretty straightforward that they're going for something marksman. It's only round 2, but it is good to get a feel for which direction players are going to go. One note I want to make about Taboo Witcher. Taboo Witcher is a very important scout early game because anybody who goes 6 feather, if they don't hit a Taboo Witcher, then they basically have to go 6 feather hunters because the hunters don't need the Taboo Witcher. But if you try to go 3 assassin feather without the Taboo Witcher, you are going to kind of have issues. So anyways, with that, the game is starting, and here we go. So I start off, round 2, not a big deal. We do hit a 2-star Taboo Witcher. I'm still scouting. At this point, I'm just trying to make the strongest team possible. I grab the swordsman, so right now I'm open to a warrior start. I'm open to a feather start, and that's the way we're heading. So throughout the early game, I tend to scout probably, I would say heavily in the first couple of rounds, right? The first maybe like 6 to 7 rounds, because I'm seeing what direction people are going. I'm seeing what key units are they getting, right? What 3 cost units get taken, what synergies are being completed, what things are getting 2-starred, because people do pivot away from their early game, but I think people kind of minimize the impact of early game. Like, early game does have a lot of sway on what direction players go with their team compositions. I think a lot more than people give it credit. So anyways, that's why I scout a lot more early game than I do later in the game. So just grabbing pairs, not a big deal. Just kind of looking around, what else can we do, thinking. I do buy all the 1 costs. I just do that as a habit unless it's going to cost me interest. So in this case, it's not costing me interest because I'm at 0 gold. There's no way I can get to 10, so I might as well hold those pieces. You never know what the next screen looks like. I could get a pair of God of War. I could get a pair of my Frost Knights. And also the other thing is I am slightly improving my odds of hitting the 1 cost that I want to hit, like the Stone Spirit and the Tusker. So anyways, we're checking. There's 2 different people with 2-star Tuskers. And if you notice, the top person did go for a Thunder Spirit, so they're starting with that Spirit Synergy we discussed. And then I'm the only one with a Taboo Witcher. Okay, so what that's telling me is we're probably going to have a Hunter team because they already have a 2-star E-Ranger. We're probably going to have 2 Warrior teams, and we're probably going to have an Assassin team. That would be my guess right now. So if I think about that, you have 2 Warriors and an Assassin team. So what's the counter? Feather is the counter to those type of melee comps. So now I'm thinking, okay, let's go feather. Also, another reason I'm thinking feather is I'm the only person with a 2-star Taboo Witcher, and like we said, Taboo Witcher is a big key early game to 6 feather. Because it allows me to go either the Assassin or the Hunter variant of 6 feather, which just gives me more options, which means I'm much more likely to secure that. So now we're checking one other person does pick up Taboo, and then on the bench somebody has Taboo Witcher. Okay, so now we might have two other people going for feathers. So that's something I'm keeping track of, right? So, and we're still winning, so we're just going strongest synergy, which at this point happens to be warrior with cave clan mixed in there. And checking again, okay, so the top person, that's spirit with goblins, they're going to have a very strong early game. I need to keep track of where they're going to pivot to. Myself, I know where I'm going. Boom, we hit 2 feathered, and that probably is going to start the transition of, okay, I'm definitely going to go towards feather, because right now my comp, I could go towards warriors. 6 warrior, which we discussed yesterday, is a great build. It's probably the strongest build in my opinion right now. So I could go that way, I could go towards feather, and just getting the wisp and the trend protector definitely starting to lead me towards the feather. Same thing, I buy the things out of the shop that I can buy without impacting my interest, and we're just going to keep going with it. And yeah, basically still scouting, still checking what other people are doing. I think being decisive once you choose a comp is very, very important, because it lets you focus on tempo instead of focusing on grabbing certain pieces and re-rolling in the shop. And you'll see more what I mean by that later in the game. So anyways, this was the other person who wasn't beaten. We do beat them, and this is one of the queen players. And you can see, so werewolf. Werewolf is a major tell. If somebody goes Tusker werewolf and then they have the swordsman, they're 6 warrior. Like, I will be very, very surprised if that player doesn't go 6 warrior. And see, you can kind of see the same thing for me. So now I hit a Wisp Seer, another Swordsman, and an Abyssal Guard. So I'm still really on the fence between, I could go 6 Warrior and I could go Feather. So I'm going to sit here, right? Do I pair my Stone Spirit? Do I pair my Swordsman? Do I pair my Abyssal Guard? Those are things that I would be thinking about. Same thing for Druids. Am I going to pick up a Shining Assassin? Am I going to pick up a Shadow Crawler? Am I going to pick up the Shining Archer or the Wind Ranger, right? Those are things that would sway me more towards the 6 Feather. So same thing, just trying to win streak. Another key is always try to be on a streak, right? It can either be a win streak or it can be a lose streak. The worst thing to do is middle. And what I mean by middle is win some games, lose some. You never get on a streak. That's the worst thing. As you move up the ladder, people are really good at economying. They're really good at managing their streaks. And if you don't manage your streaks, you're going to fall way behind in gold. And there we go. We hit a Wind Ranger. So now I think the good play that I should do is I should switch in my feather and start to clear out my bench, because now I want to economy because I have decided. To me, hitting the Wind Ranger would definitely put me over the top for which build I should go. And yeah, you can see that I am doing that. We're still trying to make something as strong as possible. And I'm probably counting the bench. If I sold out the bench, I still wouldn't be at 10 gold, so I'm holding on to it. So that makes sense. Okay. And looking at other people's economy and looking at what they're going. So yep, 6 warrior. We definitely have a 6 warrior. Some more people picked up Taboo Witchers. So then I'm looking for Druid. Who else has Druid synergy? Because that's a really good way to tell. Druid synergy, Taboo Witcher, those are great ways to tell what people are going to follow you into 6 Feather. So that's what I would be looking for at this point. So there we go. I'm still looking. Okay, Taboo Witcher. By the way, the quickest way to look for Taboo Witcher is just look for the Witch synergy, right? Don't look at every single hero on every single team. That's really slow. Just look for the Witch synergy, right? And you can identify that really quickly, that purple hand. So just look for the purple hand. Same thing for Druids. Don't go line by line and look at every individual hero. Just look for the feather, that orange feather icon. Then you know who has Druids, you know who has Witcher, and it's much, much quicker for you to scout. At this point, I should definitely, I'm sure that I'll sell something if I don't win this round, and otherwise I don't need to sell anything because, yeah, I can't get to 20 gold. So we are honing in. At this point, what is this? This person is pretty strong because they got the Taboo Witcher, they got the 2-star Ripper, which is really nice, and the Tusker, Abyssal Guard, right? So yeah, this person's probably kind of like me. They're like between a feather, between a warrior type of a start. So anyways, we're on a nice win streak at this point. So we win streak all the way into golems. So that is good for us. And there we go. Dwarf Sniper, I would grab that. And then, and see, here becomes the thing is, do I grab the Tusker For the quality, I'm trying to think about the combos. Like, I want the 3 Hunter at this point, I'm sure, and it just becomes, do I need the Trent Protector? Probably not. So what I would do is sell the, or not sell, but I would bench the Trent Protector and put in the Tusker, just because I already have 3 Feather without Trent Protector, so just take the better tank. Yep, and that's what I do. And I sell the Swordsman to get over 20 gold, so that's great. So here we're optimizing our synergies. We have 3 Hunter, we have 3 Feather, and we're also optimizing our individual unit strength. So I think that's the consideration right here. And checking, if we look, yep, we're definitely having 2 teams go towards the Beast Warrior, and we're definitely having 2 teams that are going towards Hunter. So that is something to keep in mind. I already hit 3 Hunter, so at that point, it's, okay, let's fill in my other 3 Feather and get to 6 Feather, right? So, and wow, that's a great buy. So there we go, Shining. That basically almost guaranteed locks me into 6 Feather Hunters. And Dwarf Sniper will be my fill for Siren. If I don't get a Siren, then I'll stick with the Dwarf Sniper, or if my Dwarf Sniper gets super strong, I'll stick with the Dwarf Sniper. So that generally is what it comes down to. The Skull Hunter, we're going to leave him for now, probably, just for that. I can't get 6 Feather, and I'm already there. So keep trying to ride our win streak. Remember, we're on a win streak right now. So going Venomancer. Another thing I scout for around this point, around like the middle of the game, around 10 to 15. So when everybody's level 6 is when people will start to get lucky. They'll hit 4-cost units, right? Some people are always going to get lucky. They're going to hit 4-cost units. So I try to scout to see what those units are, so I know what people are contesting, right? Are they going to hit Lone Druids? If people start to hit Lone Druids, that makes big issue for me if I'm running Feathered or any sort of Druid comp, right? If people hit Berserkers, that makes issue for me if I'm running 6 Hunter or 6 Warrior, or if I'm running Glacier Knights. So anyways, clearing out. Doom would be really tempting if I went the Warrior route, but in this case, don't waste the gold. I would pick up the Shadow Crawler because I do want to try to get my synergy. Shadow Crawler is not optimal, but it is something. And here, and here's another, this is a really important point. I just lost. So my win streak is over, right? So at this point, I'm going to put in my endgame synergy and sell everything that doesn't have to do with my synergy. And the reason you want to do that is because if you're not win streaking, you want to lose streak. So is my strongest possible team on the board? Absolutely not. Like, my team is much weaker. I lost my Hunter synergy. I took out a 2-star Tusker, right? My team got weaker. But actually, in this case, I want to be weaker because now I want to lose streak so I can keep building my economy up, right? If you notice, I have the second strongest economy, but I have the most health. The other person who has a higher economy than me is actually in last place right now in health. So that's fine. I think that was also a good play. And I'm sure I would have sold the Tusker if it would have got me gold like here. I almost guarantee I sell the Tusker so I can get to 40 gold. And same thing. It's not the strongest team, but my win streak ended. So now, you know what? Let's econ up, get to 50 gold, and let's lose streak to amplify our economy. Nice. Yep. Would definitely sell that, and then probably throw my armor on the Trent Protect or Warpwood Sage. Yep, there we go. So yeah, now we're just being patient. Ride the streak, and then look for our Druids. So most likely, what I will be scouting for is how many people are going for Feathered and Druids, and should I be re-rolling at level 7 or should I be re-rolling at level 8? Re-rolling at level 8 is greedy. Okay, re-rolling at level 8 is something you do if you're uncontested. Okay, if nobody's contesting your pieces, you can go to 8, you can re-roll and try to get all those juicy 4 costs that aren't being contested. But if you're being contested by other people, you almost always want to re-roll at level 7, at least until you get the majority of your team to 2-star. So this game, from looking at the screen, I can see that I am being contested by at least one other team, and realistically, I think I'm being contested by 2 other teams, because, once again, the key tells, if you're running Feather for contention, is the Witcher, so we see 1, 2, 3 teams with Witcher, and then you look for the Druid, and we see 1, 2 teams with the Druid, right? And then the other thing that will contest you is 6 Assassin, so I'm looking for Assassin, there's no Assassin. So I'm being contested probably by 3 teams, right? 3 Witchers, 2 people with Feather, and 2 people with Druid. And I count myself in that, obviously, but anyways. So here we go. We're still losing. That's fine. I think, yeah, our lose streak began last round, so now we're just building that. Yes, our health is dropping, but that's not too big of a concern, right? Our economy is looking good. We're waiting to get those pieces in. This is a minion round here, so right now I'm probably deciding between leveling, re-rolling, that type of stuff. So anyways, we want to beat the wolves, and we will just reposition, and I would assume I probably spend the gold to level because, like I said, I do want to get to level 7 and do that. A thing here with the wolves is I could go to level 7 because my team's probably not going to beat the wolves. It's too weak to beat the wolves. I only have 2 2-stars, and they're not good 2-stars. Wisseer is it's probably one of the weakest 2-stars in the game, and Taboo Witcher is a great unit for team fights, but it's not a great wolf unit. 6 Feather can definitely help you against wolves, but my quality is just kind of low. So I would be worrying. So something I might have been thinking about is going below 50 gold to get to level 7 this round so that I could put in like the Dwarf Sniper, get my Marksman synergy back to beat the wolves. Those type of plays, yeah, I don't know. It just depends. And yeah, it looks like I'm going to lose. So there, I probably should have done it. In retrospect, I should have leveled up to 7. But, oh, nice, we hit Trend Protector, we hit our Lone Druid. Okay, now we're nice. Now we can definitely reroll at level 7. I would definitely reroll at level 7. And actually here, I think I should put in Dwarf Sniper and not the Lone Druid. I would say this is a misplay, but I might be thinking too. Kind of looking at what synergies I want to get in and how things are going. So we are scouting, same thing. We see the feathered, yep, and somebody, Feather Assassin, you can see. So 2 Feather Assassin teams. So those people who had the Druid, the Witcher type stuff, they're pivoting. Only one other person has Witcher in now, so somebody gave up on one of their Taboo Witchers. But it looks like we're going to have 2 Assassin. We do have 2 Beast Warriors, I would say, still. And then we're going to have a Glacier Knight, it looks like. So that's going. Okay, so remember, we were lose streaking. This whole time we were on a lose streak. Now we win. Okay, so now, after you're winning, now it becomes time to try to win streak. So what's that mean? When you're round 17 and you're level 7 and you're trying to win streak, so you just won, what are you going to do? Probably roll down. I would assume that I'm going to roll below 50 gold at this point, or I'm going to roll until I get some pairs. Like, there, I would stop at 50 because I got lucky and I hit multiple 2-stars. So I just upgraded 2 different units, and then there we are going to get in the Dwarf Sniper, it looks like. Perfect. So repositioning, and beautiful. Nice. I think that is a great play. And we stop at 50. In the future rounds, I won't be surprised if I roll down even more because I want to guarantee myself a win streak. At that point, I stopped at 50 just because I needed to switch in units. I needed to adjust my team comp. I needed to adjust my positioning. And also, I hit 2 major upgrades. A 2-star Dwarf Sniper is a huge upgrade. The 2-star Shining Archer is not super big deal, but I mean, it's still something very nice. So anyways, we're winning, and we also beat first place. So that's another good thing to scout. And we just broke their win streak. That is another really huge deal because when you can kill other people's win streaks, that's really important for you. I am noticing that there is a mage in this, so that's probably something I have in the back of my mind. And at this point, definitely Shining Archer. Yeah, take the 3-star because of the scouting. So once again, when we're scouting, we're looking at what's contested, what's not. So the people who are going towards Feather were going with Assassins. So that means that I probably am not going to be contested on the Shining Archer because the only hunter comps that run Shining Archer are Feather Hunters, right? A 3 Hunter Warrior, which you have all seen me play, is not going to run Shining Archer. It's suboptimal. Even if they run a Shining Archer, they're going to sell it at as soon as they get the better hunter, like get their Siren, right? So that is how I would be evaluating that. Nice, we're winning. We're fighting first place again from their point of view. We're also, or the new first place is the way I should say it, and we are beating them. This is also one of the queens, so we keep in mind. And like we said in the beginning, they are definitely going 6 Warrior Beast. So you can see how the early game scouting does convert into early game scouting is valid. In a lot of cases, you can guess correctly. And the way that I improve my guessing, my scouting, is I I go back and I review games like this. I look at the beginning, I see what's my prediction, what are people going. So I watch, like, for instance, the first, let's say, 6 rounds, and then I make my predictions, what are the enemy teams going to go for, and then I look at the very end screen and where I can see what everybody went for, and then we see where I was wrong, where I was right. So that's how I think you should practice scouting. Okay, so anyways, what we're looking at, same thing. I'm looking at, every time I look at it, I either look at how I'm being contested, or I look at what's countering me. Okay, so the counters right now we see are, there is probably going to be a Dragon Knight, which is the person it looks like we're fighting, and the other one is going to be that mage player, right? So Dragon Knight is an issue because Feather, you can't dodge ultimates, and then the Dragon Knight has Venom, and they have the Shining Dragon, which both have very strong ultimates, and especially against Feather Hunter, Venom is super annoying, because Venom is going to target the highest attack damage unit, which is going to be your marksman carry, your damage carry. So like in my case right now, it's going to be Dwarf Sniper. So dragons are very rough when you are a Feather Hunter. Okay, so anyways, we're still picking up. I would grab that Shining Archer here. I can sell the Unicorn if need be. And actually, yeah. So here, I think the play would be grab. I don't know. This one's kind of rough too. I might pass the Shining Archer. The reason why is because I do have Druids that are going towards 3-star, and I don't want to have to wait for another Unicorn. Unicorn's actually harder to pick up later in the game because your odds of getting a 1-cost decrease, and I'm about to go up to level 8. So I think there I didn't grab the Shining Archer because I didn't want to risk my my Unicorn. So there, grab that. Okay, that makes sense. I should not combine the Unicorn. That way if I lose, I can sell it. We're looking at our comp. We do have our 6 Feather, 3 Marksman now. We're putting in the Razor Claw. Makes sense. And here it becomes, yeah, now I'm starting to re-roll. So I did, by the way, another note is, remember I was talking about if we would re-roll at level 7 or re-roll at level 8, and it looks like we opted to, we got lucky. So we didn't have to heavily re-roll. And heavily re-roll to me is like going down to 30 gold type of re-rolling. But we were pretty lucky and we were hitting stuff. But as soon as I hit level 8, I do start to re-roll down because we know we have competition. We know, see, there's 1, 2, 3 Druid teams now. So we have 3 different people who are going to contest us for Lone Druid. I want to get my Lone Druid. So from here to 8, I won't be surprised if and also I'm on a win streak. So we went from a win streak to a lose streak to a win streak. I want to keep my streak. I would not be surprised if I re-roll all the way down to 30 gold. And well, let me rephrase that. I think I should re-roll all the way down to 30 gold. Like, I think I should be heavily re-rolling right now. There we go. Okay, we hit that. That's nice. Nice. Taboo and a Shining, and we get our Shadow Crawler. By the way, Shadow Crawler is not optimal. I want a Shining Assassin, right? But I need 6 Feather, and yeah, I need 6 Feather, and I'm not... It is a waste of gold. So when I combined a Shadow Crawler, it cost me 9 gold. If I sell it, I'm only going to get 4 gold. So I'm going to lose 5 gold. But you have to consider, I'm on a win streak. Is it really worth 5 gold to just give up my win streak? And in this case, if you notice, I rerolled down to 30 gold, and I'm fighting the first place person. So that was very, very important. If I got greedy there, I probably just lost my win streak. So that becomes the importance of that type of stuff. So anyways, our Shining Archer, like predicted, is not contested, and we are probably going to get to 3-star Nice Strange Egg. I would use this, yep, nice. So I re-rolled at 30. Again, I get lucky, I hit the Shining Archer. Now that means I can use my egg on my Razor Claw. And I might be waiting to use my egg because I want to see how contested Razor Claw is versus how contested the Wind Ranger is. And another thing is, egg is actually good to use on units you're taking to 3-star, because, like, my Taboo Witcher, I already have a low probability of getting him now that I'm at 8. Like, I think it's a 24% chance. And I already have 8 out, and there's other teams who have Witchers, right? So the Witcher pool is very small at this point, and I already have a low chance to get 1-cost units. So I think that's why I'm holding my egg. I'm probably like, I might actually end up using this egg to get my Taboo Witcher to 3-star. So we do check 1, 2 Lone Druid teams. Okay, So Lone Druid is contested, but not heavily. We hit the taboo. This, I almost guarantee I use it on my Lone Druid, because Lone Druid was more contested than the Wind Ranger. Oh wow, we hit the Lone Druid and we hit the Wind Ranger. So there we go. Happy times. Okay, now I can sit on the egg. The egg to me would have been on the Lone Druid. I think if I wouldn't have hit there, I would have went for the Lone Druid. We do grab our Shining Assassin. I don't put it in over the Shadow Crawler. I would say that's a good call, because my Shadow Crawler is 2-star, and the Assassin is more there for, it's more there for the synergy than it is for the, what is the word I'm looking for? It's there for the synergy, not necessarily for the, like, damage, right? If you look at my DPS meter, my Shadow Crawler is not doing anything super special, DPS-wise. It's not even in my top 5. So I could mix in the Shining Assassin and basically transfer, like, free up the gold, but there's probably not that much motivation unless it's going to let me hit the next economy level. So this, yeah, that becomes a choice. I would probably sit on my Mana Crystal here, because remember, actually, I do want to mix in a Siren. The thing about 6 Feather Hunters is you have no CC, right? Nothing on my board currently has CC. I guess the Lone Druid's Bear has CC, it can stun, and the Shining Archer has a very small stun built into her ultimate. But, you know, when I talk CC, I'm talking about Pirate Captain, the Siren, right, Tsunami Stalker, like big CC the whole team for a good amount of time. So that Mana Crystal I would definitely want onto a Medusa, so sitting on it's fine. We're also win streaking still, and this is where you have to have a feel. Be greedy when you can, and be conservative when you need to. And what I mean by that is, in this case, I'm stomping on people, right? I'm on a win streak, but I've been stomping everybody every round since then, so I'm not going to worry about it. And here you can notice I do go to level 9, and I was just thinking that because if you see 3rd place, the VN, just went to level 9. So another part of win streaking is assume the worst, right? Assume the worst case. And the worst case here is I match up against the person who just went to level 9. So if I match up against them, I want to be at level 9 because I don't want to lose my win streak. My win streak is so valuable right now. And bam, we match up against a person who hit level 9. So here's another great example. That's why when you're on a win streak, assume the worst case. And this is one of my biggest flaws as a player. I get really greedy, and I don't do that. Like, I'm like, okay, you know what, there's 5 people. I'm just going to risk it. And then I end up losing a 3 gold win streak, and, you know, that has major impact. At the end of this game, we'll look at the economy, and we'll be able to see how big of an impact that has. So once again, we're beating 2nd place heavily. So that's good. So we just beat 3rd place, we beat 2nd place, so we know we're doing good. We do see the magic, we do see the, so I'm probably going to grab that Medusa, I almost guarantee, and we get the 3-star Unicorn, nice, so that gives us Beast buff. The reason I am going for the Tsunami Stalker and the Siren, even though I'm stomping, is because, remember, we saw that there's a Dragon Knight, and we also, there was a mage who I think was the person we just fought. Yeah, so this team has the magic damage with the helicopter and also the Tortola Elder. So, like, marine synergy is something I probably would want to mix in case these teams give me issue. I think the reason I'm not committing is because I'm watching, right? I'm on a win streak. I've been stomping people. I just keep watching. I don't need to panic. And there we go. We do buy our Siren with the victory gold, so that's good. And see, once again, we're stomping. So not a big deal. I'm not going to panic. I would probably... Okay, nice. We roll to hit, and we get our Razor Claw. I should use the egg on him. Getting that upgrade is worth it. Yep, so that is good. And I can either lock here, or I can sell my Shining Assassin. So... like we said, I mean, the Shadow Crawler is not really doing much. Shining Assassin is actually a pretty big upgrade, so I might lock the screen. Yeah, I do lock the screen. The reason I say that is Shining Assassin is a really good distraction. So if you notice, my Shadow Crawler just jumped into the middle of the Dragon team and got focused by the Venom. If it was the Shining Archer, my Shining Archer would have ultimated and then kept Venom busy for another, 5-10 seconds. And that 5-10 seconds can really matter because that's 5 or 10 seconds of my Dwarf Sniper just destroying the enemy team's squishies. So yeah, holding on to Shining Archer makes a lot of sense. So we did just get beat by the dragon. So that does become an issue, and at that point that probably means that I am thinking about ways to get in my Siren, to get in my Tsunami Stalker. So we hit another Siren. Same thing, it looks like I'm being patient. The reason I think I'm being patient with a defensive item, and I forget its name, I think that's a life crystal is what it's called, is because round 30 is coming. So next round is a minion round, and let's see if we can combine it into something really good. Like we get the Fiery Axe, and then we can get a tier 3 item instead of just combining it into the tier 2 shield. So yeah, just holding it. Same thing with the Mana Crystal. I don't need to panic at this point. I don't have an optimal Mana Crystal target, and especially with a Siren on the bench that I'm looking to put into the game soon, I'm definitely going to sit on the Mana Crystal. Another really good unit to put Mana Crystal on is your Shining Assassin, because if you put one Mana Crystal on a Shining Assassin, it just perma-alts. So it'll alt, every time the cooldown ends, it'll re-alt, and I think it's 5 seconds, maybe it's 6 seconds. But anyways, it'll just keep its alt, and like I said, Shining Assassin is actually, in the end of games, when you're running the Hunter comp, the Shining Assassin is there as a tank, actually. It's not there as your damage source. So that's another thing to keep in mind. It looks like we're going to lose our win streak. We barely lose, but we do lose our win streak, so that's unfortunate, but we are into the top 3. They're both really low. So at this point, I would say it comes down to survival. I just need to outlast, and then I can counter. So same thing is, in this case, I have a nice health cushion. I would guess that I would probably econ. I think the best play here is to econ, go to level 10, because only one of them, this is the only player that could possibly also go to level 10. So the counter to the last place would be go to level 10, because they're level 8 with okay economy, so there's no way they're going to get to 10. The counter to second place is going to be just, yeah, and they do hit 6 Goblin. So the counter to them is going to be different than the counter to third place. I hope I'm being clear about that. So third place is the Dragon. The Marine synergy will help me against them. Second place, I believe, also had magic, so the Marine synergy will also help me against them. But in terms of other mix-in, other units that I would want to mix in and the positions that I would want to take with them, that would be different based on those teams. So there we go. We do mix in our Siren once it hits 2-star, which is nice. I like that. Positioning is good because we have mana on it. Round 30 does hit, so I decided to just use the item, so that also makes sense. The axe should probably go on my lone druid, but I think what I'm doing is I'm watching how the fight goes. Like, see, if my dwarf sniper stays alive, that's good. If it barely dies, then I could put the axe onto it, and it'll have that little extra health to keep it alive through all this. But we are beating VN, okay, so that's good. Because we do want to get a 6 Goblin out of the way, right? 6 Goblin with all that armor does kind of counter us if it can catch up in quality. The only reason we beat it there, and I think the only reason we're beating the 6 Goblin is because our quality is way higher. Like, we have so many so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 3-stars. The Goblin player does not have that, so that's the only reason we're beating the Goblin player. 6 Goblin, if they're at the same rank, are going to beat Feather Marksmen, and they're going to beat Feather Assassins too, just because their armor reduces damage more than your avoidance. And hopefully what I mean by that is clear. We switch opposite sides. This makes sense to me because against the Devastator, my Marksman can hit you from either side of the map, and against the Devastator, now my Marksman will be safe from that ultimate. So that makes a lot of sense. Also, the Goblins' tanks will jump into my team and get focused down. So that's good. The Dragon we know we're losing against, and okay, we can see that fight happening. So yeah, notice it went a lot better this time, and that's probably because of what we talked about, and that Devastator ult, well, we're not watching it, but I'm guessing I lived through, my damage lives through that Devastator ult, and we finish the kill, it looks like. Yep, cool. So now it's the top 2. Okay, so now we're against the Dragon Knight, and the Dragon Knight, I would be thinking of the counters, and that becomes basically the thing, is how am I going to counter them? I do want to get in my Tsunami Stalker, and it looks like I am going to switch in my Shining Assassin, use the egg on it. That play was, I don't know. At this point, honestly, I probably would have just started to save economy, go to 10 and put in my Tsunami Stalker. I think as soon as I go to 10 and I put in a Tsunami Stalker, I'm going to win. because, like we said, this other player is not there. There's no way that they're gonna make it. But see, at this point now they've hit 9 and we're at similar economy, so I can't even really make an advantage out of that. And it looks like they are doing pretty well. We're doing the I win from my view, they win from their view type of thing. The helicopter also does make sense for the AoE damage, just the heavy damage. Tsunami Stalker for the Marine synergy. Probably either of those would help me get over. Another thing about helicopter is it's really tanky. It has 10 armor, so it's great if you split it off from your team to catch assassins. So like this person's running double Venom, and we can see that they're getting close to a 3-star Venom. That's another thing you want to scout later in the game. What are they getting towards 3-star? This positioning, so I want to split Marksman. My advantage is that I can split up, and that way the Shining Dragon is not just wrecking me. And right, I'm not getting destroyed with the splash. Same thing with the Soul Reaper. I'm not getting hit by every single thing. So that looks good. We do take out the Venoms, which is nice. Wind Ranger kind of bad alt. Well, is a bad alt, not kinda. Is a very bad alt. It just alts only the Wind Ranger, or only the Venom. But, so we get this. From their view, okay, yeah, so they beat me from their view. It looks like my view, I'm going to beat them. So we're just in that stalemate type of situation. A note on this is I feel like something changed in the game because, I don't know, I feel like they did something to where you're more likely to win from your viewpoint than you are from an enemy's viewpoint, because I've had these situations happen way more frequently. This is, I'm just repositioning for Dragon. And by these situations, I mean, I've had situations where for 5 rounds, I win from my point of view and my enemy wins from their point of view. So it's just really strange. Before the last patch, I didn't notice that happening as much, so I don't know. Maybe it's something about me, or I don't know. I'd be curious if other people are experiencing the same thing, so let me know that in the comments. Anyways, we're econing up to level here, definitely, and I am just holding on to the legendaries because it looks like, oh, wow, a 2-star. Okay, so now I have a 2-star Tsunami and I have a pair of 2 different legendaries. We combine that into item. Now our Siren has 2-mana items, so she's going to ult really, really quickly, which will be nice. The Shadow Crawler position, or sorry, the Shining Assassin's position probably looks weird to people. The reason that I'm doing that is because, remember, the Assassin's damage is very minimal. It's not going to help me burst down their backline, but what it is going to do is help their backline generate ults, right? So I don't want to jump on like the Baby Dragon. Well, the Baby Dragon would be okay, but I don't want to jump on the Dark Spirit so it just gets an extra fast ult off. And like we said, the Shining Assassin, when I'm running 6 Feather 3 Hunter, I'm actually look at it more as a tank. It's an avoidance tank, and it uses its ultimate and the 6 Feather buff to just tank, right? Dodge a lot. So that's why I'm putting it in that front position. And the Venom is becoming an issue. So they do hit the 3-star Venom, and wow, okay, this is so... Okay, I think what I should do is use the egg on Tsunami Stalker, sell one of the helicopters, and then level. That is probably the play here. And if I remember, I don't do that for some... Oh, I think this, I misclick. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I think I end up misclicking here. I need to sell one, and I go to click to like drag it, and I accidentally hit to combine the helicopter, so that was a misplay. Good news is if you notice just the 2 different styles, second place decided to use his economy to get 3 stars, whereas I use my economy to hit level 10 and get in that extra synergy. So that's probably how the game's going to end, is just based on that. Does his quality help him win? Like, and he hit a 3-star Dragon Knight, which is just so sick. I mean, that's insane. But anyways, so his quality, or does my leveling help me? And I won't spoil it. We will see. You'll all see the play out here. So anyways, last round was a misplay, but now we do get to 10, and I'm probably deciding which one to put in, or positioning, who knows. I think Tsunami Stalker is obvious. It's probably positioning that I'm playing around with, and I think I want to catch the Venom. The Venom's going to ult my Dwarf Sniper no matter what. I can't prevent that, but what I can prevent is the Venom to then kill the rest of my Marksman, so that's probably what I'm doing. Yep, and so we put the Lone Druid in the back to catch the Venom. Unfortunately, it doesn't catch the Venom because the Venom doesn't jump right away. So that's just that. But now it cuts back onto the Venom, so that's nice. And anyways, all the alts look good, so we're crushing them from our point of view. That Tsunami Stalker does do it, and we are going to win from this point of view also. So we do take that. So anyways, just to close out, the main takeaways from this game, and the reason I kind of chose it, is an illustration of a very high lobby. So once again, this has 3 queens in it. This lobby is, this is a very high level lobby, and 6 feather is something that is very popular and with queen players, and the reason why is it's so flexible and it counters a lot of what the meta is doing. So yesterday I made a video about 6 warrior 4 beast. It's OP, I still think it is, but 6 feather is the counter comp to that. Finally, let's just look at the end screen and talk about some things. So if you notice, 2 of the 3 queen players went for 6 warrior beast, so that's one reason that me going for feather was going to help me out a lot. And then another thing I want to point out is, remember earlier I said a lot of queens like to start with that spirit synergy early and then transition into 6 assassins. So if you notice, that player did exactly that. They tried to go 6 assassins. Unfortunately for them, I think they just didn't hit pieces, so they went out very early. Finally, the last kind of point I want to take away is, if we look at economy, right, 309 gold for me total, second place 297. Obviously we were much higher because we lasted another 6 rounds, but even the 6 rounds doesn't account for the huge gold disparity, and I think the reason that comes is because win streaking and lose streaking. So both me and second place both rode streaks very long, and if you go back and think about the video, the last point I want to make is ride those streaks, do not middle. So I rode a win streak all the way to golems, I rode a lose streak, and then I rode a win streak all the way to like top 3, and then it just became that positional battle. So anyways, that does it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and once again, please let me know which style you like. Do you like me doing both styles, like commentary during the match or commentary after the match? So just let me know which style you like, and anyways, take care, have a great day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow.